This is Chris Kelly with just a simple explanation of the administration of our Peak Fitness beginner fitness class chart. Now, the beginner fitness class begins with our pre-workout routine. All right, the first thing that we want to do during the first week of the program is teach the client the standard pre-workout routine that they're issued, at the beginning of their training process. Really, the idea behind this is we want them to come in 5 to 10 minutes early to do the foam rolling stretching on their own, so we can begin immediately with the activation work at the beginning of the session. Now, beginning with activation work, which is listed at the beginning of our workout chart, we just want to perform these 4 exercises in a circuit. So we would perform the glute bridge, followed by the clams, a plank, and a side plank for each side twice for a period of 30 seconds. So just hold for 30 seconds in one exercise, move to the next, and just finish that up. Moving on, we move directly into our mobility circuit. All right, with our mobility circuit, we're just going to perform once again each exercise in a circuit format. Spider-Man, inchworm, squat to stand, wall slide. Those are all common exercises that we utilize in our pre-workout warm-up. We would just perform those after activation work and then go immediately into our movement preparation. All right, now this is listed under the workout A portion of our chart here, and it says movement prep. And once again, the exercises are just listed below one another simply because we're going to perform them in a circuit format. So we would do a split squat, followed by med ball work, and ending up with a chin up or whatever it may be. One thing that you'll notice here is that we have 3x 6 to 8 above the actual columns where the exercises are. What this means is we want to do 3 sets of between 6 to 8 reps. So, while this may change, this 3 denotes the number of total circuits that we're going to do for this column, and 6 to 8 is the number of reps that we want to do. The other thing that you'll notice is it says assisted for the first 2 weeks and then body weight for the second 2 weeks. With our movement preparation, we want to begin the session by just practicing an exercise that we want to kind of incorporate in the future. But for now, this is kind of something that is new that we're introducing at the beginning of the session when the client is kind of fresh and learning this exercise. With that said, we're doing kind of an assisted version where the client is, performing this against the wall for the first 2 weeks, and then as they become better at it, we move off the wall and we just kind of move to a more body weight orientation. With that, we follow that up with 2 power drills. Okay, and with that, we're doing med ball work. So in the first week of the program, we would do med ball slams. The second week, we would just do a medicine ball toss against the wall, and then we would repeat that once again. That would also be the same in the third column. We might do something like a skip or a side shuffle, and we would just list, any variations that would exist there. We might, do something like just basic skipping for the first 2 weeks, and then something like maybe a skip to 2 cones or a triangle drill. We'll demonstrate whatever that specific drill may be, but the idea is the basic drills remain the same, but they progress as the weeks go on. Now, once we get done with our movement preparation, we go directly into our strength circuits. All right, in our first strength circuit, we've got an incline dumbbell press, a reverse CS lunge, and then a mobility drill, which is a wall slide. And really the purpose of the mobility drill is just to allow the client to warm up or to cool down a little bit, to get a little bit of rest in between these first 2 exercises. Once again, you'll notice that there's a 3x 6 to 8 because I'm looking for 3 sets of each exercise performed back to back for 6 to 8 reps. With this, the idea is to progress the client with each session in either strength or difficulty. So, for example, if the client can get 3 sets of 8 with 25 pounds in week 1, we know that it's time to move up. If they can get more than 8 reps, pretty easily, the weight needs to go up or we need to increase the difficulty somehow. You'll also notice that I've recorded that under week 1. Okay, and what I've done here is I've just put 3x8, denoting the amount of reps and sets that they've done, / 25 pounds. That simply means that that's what they got next time, or that's what they got on that day. That's what they did. I didn't log anything in the mobility drill because there's really no need to do that. Now, the objective for the next session, whenever you repeat workout A, would be to simply increase that in some way. So maybe they move up to 30 pounds, or, maybe we increase the difficulty in some fashion. After completing strength circuit A, we move directly into strength circuit B. All right, so once again, the exercises are written the same just because I copied it here, but generally these are exercises that are performed for 2 sets of a higher rep range. Here we have 10 to 15 reps, and these will be more remedial exercises, maybe something a little lighter, but at the end, again, we have a Spider-Man here, so we perform 2 strength exercises followed by a mobility drill in a circuit fashion 2 times. Now for the final portion of our workout, we have our conditioning routine. All right, for the conditioning routine, I've included instructions below kind of the conditioning call of what to do. And in this format, we're doing what is called a ladder drill. Okay, and with this, you want to perform 15 reps of each exercise, followed by 14 reps of each exercise until reaching 10. So what we're going to do here is perform a push-up, a step-up, and a band sprint for 15 reps each, then perform 14 reps each until we reach 10. All right, now again, the objective is we're going to set the clock from anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, so we're going to set a running timer, and we're going to see how far the client can get down that ladder until they reach 10. That's the example of one conditioning format that we utilize, but the idea is we're going to list the amount of time. Everything is done in a time circuit for conditioning, so we're going to go anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes here. So depending on the amount of time that you have, simply set the timer for 8 minutes, explain what to do to the client, and kind of let them go. Once the 8 minutes is elapsed, if they make it down to 11, we just want to record that, record how far they got. We'll tell you how to do that in kind of the workout chart explanation going forward here, but we just want to explain what to do, and that's how we do it. In week 2, it's the same format. We just use another set of exercises, and then in week 3 and 4, we'll repeat weeks 1 and 2 workouts. We just kind of give them, the opportunity to improve their score. Now, for the last portion of our workout, we have our core training. All right, and you see here it's just written Dead Bug Circuit. The core training will be posted on the wall under the Core Complete board. All right, and all you do is there are 3 pictures of 3 exercises performed back to back. In this case, we have a Dead Bug Circuit, and really all you do is perform 3 sets of 15 seconds in each position. And as the weeks go on, we simply increase the difficulty by moving up a little bit. So we start at 15 seconds, we move up to 30 seconds. The same procedure is repeated for week B. That's the structure kind of our workout. Really the last thing that you want to look at is sort of the workout schedule portion of our workout chart here. Now, when you're issued a workout chart during the first week, you're going to be given just a blank column of weeks like this. And every time you do a workout, we're going to alternate between workout A and B. So you'll notice I labeled week 1 here. Okay, so I've got on, say, the fitness classes on Tuesday, Thursday. On Tuesday, I did workout A. Okay, so I labeled 115A. All right, on Thursday, I did workout B, so I labeled 117B. All right, with each workout, you want to alternate between A and B. All right, and just list the days that they were performed, in what order that they were performed. Once we get to week 4, we know that the class is ready for a new workout chart. It's kind of a self-regulatory thing, and we know that it's time to progress them beyond that. Beyond that, that is the basic format for our group fitness workout chart. We have a workout A and B. We'll go over it in detail each month, but feel free to email me any questions, and pay attention to the workout recording portion of our video, of our next video, for instructions on how to do that.